Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are cracking the code, the complete playbook for creating a newsletter that people don't just love to read, but that they're actually excited to pay for and share like crazy. We're going to turn the art of newsletter writing into a science you can actually follow.
All right, so here's the game plan. We've got 5 big steps. We'll start with the psychology of why people share stuff, then get into making content worth paying for, how to write it, how to make money, and finally, we'll look at some real pros who are absolutely crushing it.
Okay, let's dive right in. Before you even think about writing a single word, we have to get this one thing straight. Why do people share things? Seriously, this is the bedrock. Everything else we talk about today is built on top of this. So, what makes an idea just take off? Well, it turns out going viral isn't some random lottery ticket. It's not about luck. It's actually engineered. There are these predictable psychological triggers that pretty much compel people to hit that share or forward button.
A great way to think about this is the STEPS framework. It comes from Wharton professor Jonah Berger, and it's basically 6 key principles that make content spread like wildfire. We're talking about social currency, making people look smart for sharing. Triggers, connecting your idea to everyday things. Emotion, you get it. Each one of these is like a lever you can pull to make your content more shareable.
Okay, so you see all these reasons why people share, right? But here's the kicker, the one that stands above all the rest. Status and social currency. It's the most powerful driver, hands down. People share stuff because it makes them look good. It makes them seem smart, in the know, and ahead of everyone else. That's a huge insight. All right, so we get the why of sharing. Now let's build on that foundation and talk about the what. How do you actually create content that's so good, so valuable, that people will pull out their credit cards for it? $60 a month for a newsletter? Sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what the Van Trump report charges. And get this, they're pulling in over $20 million a year. Why? Because they're giving farmers intel they absolutely need. It just goes to show, when the value is crystal clear, the price tag almost doesn't matter. So how in the world do they justify that price? Well, it's by delivering immense value through at least one of these 5 mechanisms. And this is so important. You're not just selling words, you're selling a result. You're selling time saved, a promotion at work, or a key to an exclusive club. And to make sure you're always delivering that high value, just remember this framework. EASY. It has to come from your unique expertise. It's got to be actionable. People should be able to do something with it. It needs to be simple to understand, and maybe most importantly, it has to be authentically yours. Your voice, your perspective. Okay, strategy's in place, value prop is locked in. Now let's get tactical. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of writing. We're talking about the words on the page, the headlines and hooks that cut through the noise of a crowded inbox and just demand to be clicked. Check this out. This is a perfect example of a small tweak that makes a huge difference. Just by adding a number to your how-to subject line, so saying 5 ways to instead of just how to, you can boost your open rates by a whopping 57%. That's a massive, massive gain from one tiny change. And here are some of the best, most proven formulas you can start using like right now. Look at how they work. Some are all about curiosity, asking a question. Others create that FOMO, that urgency. And some just promise a clear benefit. Your job is to play around with these and figure out what really clicks with your readers. Okay, so once they open it, you have to hook them immediately. The first sentence is everything. Take this one. I spent 100 hours researching this so you don't have to. What does that do? Boom. Instant credibility. You're not just giving an opinion. You're telling them you've put in the work and you're saving them a ton of time. They're going to listen. All right, this is where it all comes together. We've talked about the psychology, we've talked about the content. Now let's talk about the business side of things. How do we build the engine that actually gets you paid? 70%. What do you think that number is? It's not profit margin, it's not some crazy discount. It's something way, way more important for growth. That is the percentage of Morning Brew's growth that came from their referral program. At its peak, 70%. That is just mind-blowing. And it proves one thing. Your single biggest growth lever is turning your readers into your sales team. You have to make it super easy and super rewarding for them to share. So when you decide to charge, you've basically got 2 main paths. You can go freemium, give away a bunch of great stuff for free, and then upsell to a premium version. That's great if you want to build a big audience first. Or you can go with a hard paywall. This is for the super niche, can't get this anywhere else type of content. Think like stratechery. And how do you get people to jump from the free version to the paid one? You gotta tap into good old FOMO, the fear of missing out. Things like time-limited discounts, showing how many spots are left, teasing exclusive content. All these things create that little bit of urgency that pushes people over the edge to subscribe. Okay, so we've covered the theory, we've covered the tactics. Now for the fun part. Let's see how all of this stuff comes together by looking at some of the absolute legends of the newsletter world. Just look at these numbers. We're talking millions, even tens of millions of dollars a year. But here's the real lesson. None of them are trying to do everything. Lenny Rashitsky, he's all about community and data. Ben Thompson, deep analysis. Van Trump, a clear, direct financial return. They each picked a lane and they absolutely own it. And this brings us to a really interesting idea, the share-subscribe paradox. You'd think if you pay for something exclusive, you'd keep it to yourself, right? But it's actually the opposite. When the content is so good, sharing it makes you look smart. It makes you look like an insider. The high value creates that social currency we talked about earlier. So at the end of the day, what's the secret? It's not one thing. It's not just great writing or a smart business model. It's the whole system working together. It starts with your deep expertise. You publish consistently, you use that easy framework, you build in virality, and you wrap it all in a community. It's the complete package. And we'll leave you with this. The newsletters making over $40 million, they all started with subscriber number 1. They didn't start with a massive following. They started with deep expertise and a commitment to providing insane value. So the only question you need to answer is, what's the one thing you know, the one thing you can teach that's truly worth paying for?